The holidays are coming, whether we're ready for them or not. Whether we are ready for Christmas, whether we are ready for Thanksgiving, whether we are ready for Halloween or your anniversary or their birthday, they're coming and they're coming full fledged. And this is a time when a lot of grievers really turn inward. They turn inward and they start paying more attention to their grief than they have been the rest of the year. We're paying more attention to our grief because we're feeling it. Number one, we're feeling it more, and we're having thoughts about the more. We're having thoughts about going through the holidays without them. The thought of going through the holidays without them is almost unbearable. Thinking about going through Christmas and him not being here is almost unbearable. This is a subject that I've talked about quite often, and I will continue to talk about it. I talk about it a lot. I've actually even written an ebook on it, Surviving the Holidays Without Your Loved One. Surviving the holidays and special days. The holidays are not just um, Christmas, Easter, and Thanksgiving. It's your birthday. It's the day you started dating. It's the day he asked you to the prom. It's the day the baby was born. It was the day that you knew your relationship changed for the better. All of those things are incorporated into our grieving for the holidays. I have said this until I'm blue in the face, and I'm going to continue to say it. You have to acknowledge. You have to acknowledge that these holidays are coming. You have to acknowledge that they are coming, and there's nothing that you can do to stop this calendar. You can't stop it from rolling down the road. You'll never be able to stop this calendar. Acknowledge that they're coming and acknowledge that they're going to be hard. I don't even want to say that. They're going to be different. Acknowledge that they're coming, but this year for you, instead of them being hard, they're going to be different. I honestly cannot imagine what it's like to go through the holiday without your child there. Having to go through Christmas, know there's going to be Christmas decorations everywhere. Know that society as a whole is going to be acting like everything is okay. And every Christmas tree you see, every wreath you see, every Christmas wrapped present you see breaks you apart. I don't know what that's going to be like for you, but I know that you can make it through. And here's what I say so many times: a lot of us see the holiday coming and we grab on tight. We hold on as tight as we can because we know we can make it through if we just fake the funk. If we just act like we're okay, we can fake it through, we can hold on, and we can muscle through this holiday and get out of it. And here's the truth, my friend: that is a damn lie you're telling yourself. You cannot muscle through this. You cannot be strong enough. You cannot fake it enough to act like it's okay. Sorry, I'm just going to say it. That's just the way it is. Your child is not going to be there on Christmas morning when you wake up. I need you to acknowledge it. I didn't say accept it, I said acknowledge it. Acknowledge that the holidays are coming and they're going to be different and they may be hard. So, the number one thing I want you to do for the holidays, the number one thing is I want you to do an inventory. I want you to do an inventory of your holiday traditions. I want you to do an inventory of your holiday traditions. And this is just a mental inventory. What do we normally do for Thanksgiving? We go to Aunt Belle's house and we have turkey. Susie brings the macaroni and cheese. Carla bakes the ham. But we go every year for Thanksgiving. We get there at 10. We know we're eating at 2. Everyone different brings what they're going to drink, and we hang out. That's the tradition for Thanksgiving. For Christmas, Christmas Eve is really big. Christmas Eve is the day we make the gumbo. We make that big pot of gumbo. We not only invite the family members, we invite our friends, we invite the friends of our friends. So we literally can have 150 people coming every year. We've done this every year. And then at 9 o'clock, there's a knock on the door. And the kids are all excited and they go running to the door because we know who's on the other side of that door. It's Santa. Santa comes in. He has a big red bag. It's filled with gifts. And he starts handing out the gifts. Hey, Bobby, Susie, Billy, Donovan, here's your gift. And he starts handing out the gifts. So Thanksgiving, we know we go to Aunt Belle's. On Christmas Eve, our family throws a big Christmas Eve party and we invite everyone. On Christmas morning, we wake up just our small family and we open our gifts. We don't pull names. Everybody gets to open up all their presents. And then we wait there still in our pajamas and dad makes our brunch, our breakfast brunch. And we wait for our grandparents to arrive and we share gifts with them. And they always bring us gifts. And I love it because my grandmother always makes sure that there's an envelope on the tree when I wake up that morning with my name on it, and there's $5 in the envelope. My friend, that was a mix of stories that I've heard and my own personal traditions that I've had throughout my life. You need to make an inventory of every holiday tradition you have. And then you're going to go through and you're going to think about which of these traditions can I absolutely make it through? Which of these traditions do I want to keep? Is going to Aunt Belle's really important for Thanksgiving? Will it be okay for me to sit there? Will I feel supported there? Will they understand that I'm grieving? Who cares that it's been 2 years? I don't give a crap about their thoughts. It's still going to affect me. Can I go to Aunt Belle's knowing that everyone is going to be there and that this is going to be a really hard day? Can I handle Santa Claus knocking on the door at 9 o'clock? Do I want to be at Christmas Eve with 150 other people who are not grieving? Do I want to be at Christmas Eve with people who are talking about everything else but my child? Do I want to wake up on Christmas morning and open gifts with my family? You have to decide what are the traditions that you absolutely can stand and bear through this year in your grief, and which ones are the ones that are going to be so hard you're not going to be able to make it through. And here's the other thing, my friend, only you can make those decisions. Only you can make those decisions for yourself. Maybe you want to change some of those traditions. Maybe you don't go to Aunt Belle's this year and you go and serve turkeys to the homeless, something we've absolutely done. Erica decided on the first year after Austin had died, Erica's my sister, in case you don't know, that she could not do Thanksgiving. We still did Thanksgiving, but it was later in the day. Erica, my sister, my nephew Donovan, my sister Charlene, we all went to serve meals to the homeless. And I'm going to tell you something, okay? We were doing something really good, and it felt really good to be there and serving these people that we knew probably throughout the week this wasn't their normal food, the normal amount of food they're going to be receiving. And we put on aprons and we served. We cleaned up, we bussed tables, we took out trash, we put donned on gloves. We did the whole 9 yards. And even the sisters, because my sisters and I can be really sarcastic and funny, and we told jokes and we enjoyed and we laughed with each other, there was an element of heavy, heavy, heavy grief that day. Looking at Erica's face was so hard. And I can only imagine her looking back at our face was hard. Even though we were in there and we were trying to make the best of it, it does not make the pain go away. We were there. We were there together. That was the important part. We were serving the poor. We were serving people who didn't have a meal that day. We were cutting turkeys. We were making plates. We were bussing tables. But we were missing Austin every single moment of that. Every single moment of that. And this is something that I teach, come up with a new tradition, but it is something that we were doing innately. Here's the deal about coming up with a new tradition. Coming up with a new tradition doesn't take the pain away. It doesn't take the pain of your grief away. I'm not advocating that your pain is going to go away. I'm not advocating that you're going to get at the thing and forget that the pain was even there. What I'm telling you is once you've done that inventory and you know that there's some things on your list that you can't do, be okay with changing them for this year. Be okay with changing them for this year because you know what might happen? You might end up with a new tradition you want to carry on. You might end up with a new tradition that you want to carry on for the rest of time. You might end up with a new tradition that's going to be your family tradition. So on Christmas, Austin had just died, and Erica called and said, I cannot see Santa come to my house without Austin being here. I can't do it. She told us the thing that she could not do. The second thing, I cannot wake up on Christmas morning without everybody here. I'm going to need your support. It's going to absolutely kill me to wake up and see that tree and see that there's gifts under there for Austin and he's not here. I need you all to be here. And all she did was call me and tell me, and I made it happen. That was kind of our thing back then. We didn't realize what I was doing, which was actually filling in for her. But that's okay. That's another podcast called Being Strong. She still put up her tree because she had other children at home. And she put up her tree because it was important to them. And keeping some normalcy was important to her. I have sat with grievers who putting up the tree is not an option for them. They absolutely 100% do not want to put up the tree. The thought of putting up a Christmas tree is unbearable to them. And so they don't put up a tree. And if that's where you are, then don't put up the tree. So come Christmas Eve, my dad made the pot of gumbo. We all got together. I distinctly remember my father crying on Christmas Eve, that Christmas Eve. I distinctly remember him crying and us all gathering around him. We all decided that we were going to meet together and spend the night at her house. We were going to spend the night at her house on Christmas Eve. That started a new tradition that we now have. Whenever we're together in the same state on Christmas Eve, we spend the night at each other's house. So that started a new tradition. Accidentally, we all got pajamas. Each family had matching pajamas, which I see now as a big thing on Facebook and all that, but it just kind of accidentally happened to us 18 years ago. So each family had their own pajama thing going on. We woke up together. We all missed him. It was extremely heavy. I'm telling you guys, it was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. The grief was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. But we opened presents. We drank mimosas. We laughed. My dad made French toast. He made bacon, hash browns, and whatever. He always had this big breakfast meal going. And we stayed in the room with each other. We hugged each other. We cried it out. I even got in a fight with my daughter. We were normal. We were absolutely normal. But we changed some of the traditions. We changed some of the traditions that she could handle, and the rest we kept. And it was okay. We made it through. It was bearable. We acknowledged that the holidays were coming and that it was going to be different this year. We acknowledged that the holidays were coming and parts of it were going to be hard. Create a tradition in a loving memory of, can't even speak. Create a new tradition in honor of your loved one. Maybe that's going to be you continue to buy an ornament every year for him. Maybe you're going to continue to buy an ornament for him. I talk about this all the time with my clients. There are clear glass ball ornaments. They're clear. You can buy a whole pack of them, 4, 6, 8, 12. You can decorate those on the outside. You can write on them with a Sharpie. You can write the year, 2018, 2020, 2023. You can open the top of them and write a note and put it in there and put the top back on. You can glue the top shut. You can put different color confetti. You can start adding these specialized ornaments to your tree every year since your person has been gone. Today is 5 years since you've been gone. Here are the things I want you to know about this holiday. Here are the things I want you to know about this year. I miss you. I need you. I want you. Whatever you want to write in the note. Your children can make their own. Make a new tradition that brings your loved one with you. Austin was very much into Dukes of Hazzard. That Dukes of Hazzard, that General Lee, is at everything that we do. There's a General Lee that shows up at Thanksgiving. There's a General Lee that shows up in my Facebook posts. The General Lee is everywhere. Doesn't mean Dukes of Hazzard to me. It means my love for Austin. That's what that is for me. Decide where you want to spend the holidays. Be okay if it's a different place. You can switch up your location. You can switch up the day that you celebrate. You can switch up the time that you celebrate, or you can keep it the same. It doesn't matter what you do, but it's up to you. Either way, understand that you're going to have to consciously dial into your emotions. This is so important. Out of everything I've said on this podcast today, this is the most important. You have to dial into your emotions of what this holiday is bringing up for you. What is this holiday bringing up for you? What emotions are there? What emotions are showing up for you in the fact that you're truly missing him? You want him to be with you right now, no matter what. You want this holiday to be with him being here with you. Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling lonely? Are you feeling isolated? Are you feeling without him? Are you feeling that no one but you understands exactly what this feels like? Which is true. No one but you really understands the pain that your heart is in, which is true. It is absolutely true. Whatever you are going through, they're not going to understand. I want you throughout the day of the holiday, no matter what you've decided. Side note, if you decide you're not going to the holiday, that's okay too. If you decide you're not going to go to the holiday and you're not going to participate, that is 100% true. And it is absolutely okay. You can choose to not go through the holiday and pass it 100%. If you decide you're going to stay in bed and throw the covers over your head and not be involved in the holiday at all, that's the plan that you've come up with. And I support it 100%. But throughout the day, you're going to be checking in on your emotions. What am I feeling right now? Where is it showing up in my body? Is it heavy or light? Is it sadness? Is it joy? Is it pain? Is it loneliness? Is it anger? The key is tapping into those emotions, allowing the emotion to be there, and let it pass through you the entire time that you're celebrating the holiday. My friends, two things. I've written an ebook called Surviving the Holidays. I have attached that ebook in the show notes below. Please download Surviving the Holidays. You can also find it on my website at SharonBrubaker.com. I would love to sit with each and every one of you and create the holiday plan for you. I also have a link to my appointment calendar where you can make an appointment, meet with me, and we can together decide what it's going to be like for you this holiday. What traditions do you want to keep? And which traditions do you want to give away, or not do this year? I'm honored to meet with each and every one of you. I see you. I hear you. And I am you, most importantly. Thank you, friends.